Hey guys, thanks for checking back in today. I really appreciate it. So today we're going to be building something pretty simple, but we're mixing some materials here, giving a little bit of a different look. So today it's this nice little cube end table. Now I got a wood base and a concrete top, but the wood base is a complete cube all the way around. It's more of a rectangle, but whatever, semantics. It's a really easy construction. I think you guys will find it actually pretty cool, but the nice thing is you can fudge the dimensions of this, make it as big or as small as you want. So tag along and I'll show you exactly how I built this guy. Alright, so now the first thing I did was I made my concrete mold. Now this is obviously nothing more than just a simple box with some sidewalls to hold the concrete. My sidewalls are 2 3/4 inches tall because I'm using 3/4 inch melamine. Obviously you have to make up the difference for your bottom piece here, so that will give me an inside height of a 2-inch slab. 2 of my side pieces are cut at 10 inches because I'm having a 10-inch square piece, and then 2 of them I cut at 12 inches so I have a little bit of overhang to peel off the sides after the fact. Now if you guys seen my patio stone video, you'll know I made a whole bunch of 12 by 12 patio stones. This is literally just the remnants of that. I cut the center section down to 10 by 10, and then I wanted to reuse my screw holes from my side pieces, so I just cut a little bit off of each end to take and square up the sides while still retaining my screw holes. Now when it comes to your screw holes, if you're not reusing something, if you're using fresh melamine to make a mold for yourself, make sure you pre-drill your screw holes because they will swell and chip and crack and bulge the melamine out in all sorts of weird ways, and your concrete will show every imperfection. So make sure you pre-drill your screw holes. After that, I just screwed it together with 1 5/8" drywall screws, nothing fancy there. About every 6 to 8 inches. On something this small too is plenty fine. If you're pouring a bigger slab or a bigger table, you may want to put one up into each corner to stop the tops from bowing out under the weight of the concrete. From there, simple thing, just take and add a bead of 100% pure silicone around to the inside edges as well as up each corner. Now, you can use a roundover tool to smooth this out, a fondant tool for cake icing, whatever you want. I'm just using my finger here. The internet will tell you it's a bad idea. As long as you cut a very thin bead and you just lay in enough of it, you can get a perfectly fine job with your finger. So don't let anybody tell you you can't. If you don't have all the roundover tools, just go ahead and use your finger. Wipe it off as need be. After that, give the silicone about a couple hours to dry at least before you put concrete in it. After that, it's ready to pour. Now the first step before pouring your concrete is make sure your mold is level in every direction and shim it as need be because it will flow to the lowest spot. Now I'm adding a little bit of charcoal pigment to my water that I've already got in the bucket because I want a little bit of a darker concrete. Then just go ahead, add your concrete and add any extra water and mix as need be, but add your water sparingly because you don't want a mixture that's too wet. You kind of want it to be like oatmeal or pancake batter is what you're going for. And then just mix and mix and mix and mix until it's completely mixed up. Then add it to your mold. Now go ahead and use your hands or a shovel or something like that and push it into each and every corner before you start vibrating it. That'll just help it flatten out. Now you can go to tap town with a hammer like this and that'll work, but a much faster way that I like doing it right here, I'll show you a tip. You can use a sander, but it doesn't have the vibration that a recip saw does. So go ahead and use a Sawzall if you got it and put it around each end and just hold the trigger wide open without a blade in it. You'll be amazed how fast that works and the bubbles that come flying out of there. Now we wait for it to dry. In my case, I used a fast set concrete mix, so I came back in about an hour and it was all good to go. If you're using regular concrete, you're going to want to give it about 48 hours or so. Then just peel off the screws, grab the long ends and peel them away slowly from the mold, and this will be your first look at your nice slab. If you have a piece that doesn't want to come off, do not pry against the concrete either. Pry against the wood with a screwdriver, something like that. Wood against wood, never pry against concrete. And then just go ahead and soften your edges. Now, When you do it with a sanding sponge, make sure you sand from the corner back into the center of the block so you don't blow the sides out of it. And if you vibrated the crap out of it, you should have a nice slab come the end of it. Now I just braced mine up so let airflow all the way around it for about another couple hours or so, just to let it finish drying out.
All right, now that our concrete slab is not only cured, but it's also dry. As you can see, the water's evaporated out of it, the color's lightened up a little bit. So now it's time to go ahead and seal this guy. Now I've got here an actual concrete countertop sealer. It's a water-based, food-grade acrylic sealer. So if you got little ones running around or something like that, non-concern. Now, to apply it, super simple. Just gonna soak a microfiber towel or a shop towel or whatever you got with the sealer. And I just have some water here. I'm just gonna spritz down my slab with the water. That'll help the sealer kind of penetrate in a little bit deeper. Do a couple coats. It soaks in really, really fast. It dries fast, so you don't have much downtime in between. If you want, you can actually just mix the sealer with just a little bit of water instead in a cup and do it that way, but I like doing it this way. Now I know you're also looking at this guy here. So this is my actual little table. Now, like I said, it's super, super simple. That was the design we were going for. So this is basically like a rectangular cube, I guess you could say. So I cut 4 legs at 22 inches and I cut 8 of my stretcher bars and my rails, whatever you want to call them, at 7 inches. So that gave me my 10 by 10 in every direction. Now I assembled this guy with pocket hole joinery. So I drilled 1 pocket hole in each end of my rails, top and bottom, and then I added a little bit of wood glue to each joint. Now the wood glue isn't really structural. I just put a little bit on there only because I only added 1 pocket hole screw. And the reason for that is once the glue dries, it'll help these to stick and stop them from spinning around in place on that 1 screw, kind of like a pivot. But as you can see on the assembly, I put my pocket holes facing up, so that way they're under my concrete slab, and I put the other ones facing down, so they're on the floor. You'll never see them anyway. Now you can fudge the dimensions of this in every which way you want. You can make it taller, you can make it longer by cutting these. It's entirely up to you. We went with a butt joint because that's actually what we wanted. But if you wanted to make it a little bit more complicated, you could use half flap joints. Just remember you have to make them the full width of your piece. You can use whatever style of joinery you want on this. It's entirely up to you. So for my tabletop, I've got 4 little felt pad feeties here. I'm just going to add them to the bottom of this. And to attach the top, I've got the exact same 100% silicone here that I used to make my concrete mold. And I'm just going to go ahead and put 4 dollops on sort of the inside of each corner. The silicone has about a 300-pound holding strength, so that'll be plenty. And then just set the top in place. Make sure you're flush all the way around. A little bit of pressure downwards. And there you have it. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Slade's clearly tired. It was a simple project. I don't know why he's so exhausted, but if you guys like this video, hit all the buttons down below. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know. Share it around with some friends or family or something like that. And if you guys build this thing, let me see it. I'd love to see it. That'd be awesome. But until next time, you guys, see you in the next one.